we have one more, I think. Oh my goodness. Man, these are some interesting ones. Let's talk to Felix. Felix, who's calling in from Michigan. We're gonna take this as our last call for today's show. Thanks for everybody who's called in. Felix, we might have to make this one short, but I want to go ahead and take you. You're on Talk Heathen. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good,
So,
thank you.
what do you got for us today?
I just wanted to, someone earlier brought up something that just really bugs me, where he was saying how the devil is in control of the world, and therefore, that's why there's evil in the world. And whenever I hear that, I always think of a analogy for someone. Say that there's a landlord who's just really abusing his tenants. There's leaky faucets everywhere. He's demanding sexual payment for rent. And people go to the guy who actually owns the building, and he's like, yeah, I know all that's going on. And I could replace them at any time, and I just choose not to. So who's responsible for it ultimately?
Yeah.
That's a fun analogy. That's a great good one. Yeah.
It does kind of make you wonder, why did God make, as you put it so aptly, Satan the landlord of the world? Like, he didn't have to do that, right? Like, it could have been literally anybody else, but you gave the job to Satan. Like, if I was doing job interviews, okay, and I literally hired Satan to do the job, I think I'm not very good at hiring people for literally any job, unless the job is torturing people for all of eternity. Then I probably pick the number one pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a LinkedIn, top choice. But like, otherwise, any other job, he's gonna like fuck things up, and like he clearly has. So I don't know.
Well, I think your regular theist would actually say that it's working as intended. That is what Satan is supposed to be doing, wrecking up the world. But it really ultimately doesn't work, because the entire idea, which was, I think, borrowed from Zoroastrianism, was simply to excuse God, to make God, to put a middleman in there so God himself is not responsible. It works in Zoroastrianism because they have an equal and opposite God of evil, but Christians do not want to subordinate God to anybody or even make him equal, so he still has to be the most powerful in the world. So you really haven't done anything. He's still ultimately responsible.
Yeah. And speaking to that briefly, just so I can elaborate, in the Zoroastrian religion, you have Ahura Mazda and I gotta Google the other one, Angra Mainyu. Okay, Angra Mainyu is the kind of the Satan figure in Zoroastrianism. And a brief history of Judaism here. Okay, the Jewish people were again occupied by the Neo-Babylonians for quite some time, who was a predominantly Zoroastrian society at the time, or was a strong influence. And so in Judaism, you don't see Satan as a figure individually. You do have like some demonology, but like Satan, the name is actually more of a title. It's supposed to be like a prosecutor role. You see it in the book of Job specifically. In the book of Job, we often tell that story as them talking to Satan, a person named that. But in the actual Hebrew, it's not a person named Satan. It's sort of this title that's given to sort of an angelic being. Honestly, it's kind of ambiguous. But point is, Satan, by and large, is a Christian idea, probably has its roots, as you mentioned, in Zoroastrianism. And so that's why like it's such a confusing concept when you apply, okay, well, what is Satan's like view of the world and like goals and priorities versus God? Because like it kind of doesn't make any sense if you also combine it with this other Christian idea that is God is omnipresent, omnibenevolent, can kind of see and do everything, because it kind of just doesn't work together. It makes more sense in Zoroastrianism, as you mentioned, because there is a good God being and like a bad God being, but they're not all powerful. Like they can do a bunch of stuff, but they don't do everything. With monotheism, it kind of makes less sense. So something to think about.
Satan has to be a pretty dumb bulb if he does realize he can't win, right?
Yeah. That's something I was taught in the church, like, oh, we're gonna win in the end. So it's like, what's Satan even doing?
Why bother?
Yeah. Just like go home, man.
Yeah, if I were
to be fair, I think
I would do it. Sorry.
I think our friend earlier who was talking about Satan running the world, his version of Satan is also somewhat ineffective because Satan wouldn't let him send photos, but he would let him call our show and speak to a pair of atheists.
Yeah. Satan's really tricky about that, man. That's crazy.
He's not as powerful as he claims to be, I think.
I mean, look, I don't know. Satan can if Satan can fuck with the internet like that, though, that's pretty wild. I will say that.
Okay,
But yeah,
you guys. But I just wanted to say that Emma, especially, I'm a fan. I've been watching your videos for a while. Thanks for making some great content. And I kind of have fallen off a little bit. I remember watching a lot of your videos where you were
damn Felix. Damn Felix, why you gotta throw Emma under the bus like that? Bro, I fell off your content a little bit. What the dude? Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Crazy.
No, Felix, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's fine. You're allowed not. No,
I was just going to say. I remember the episodes where you were busting the pickup artist and everything, and I don't know if you're still doing that.
I haven't found any hot new ones lately. I was going to talk about Andrew Tate, and then he got arrested, and I thought I should leave that for a while. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was actually the original reason I was calling in, but I was told that wasn't really on topic. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe there's some other show where we can discuss that.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, listen, there's a lot of Andrew Tate conspiracies that would probably fit better on Truth Wanted. So maybe we can talk about that sometime.
Oh,
actually,
well,
Emma, if you come on with me on Truth Wanted, we'll talk about Andrew Tate conspiracies because
that's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll do that in the future. Felix, we're gonna have to let you go because we are wrapping things up here. I want to give a thanks to everybody who called in today. Especially those who disagreed with us. We do appreciate you calling in. We understand it's nerve-wracking. There's two of us talking to you at the same time. So, if we think it's really fun that we both get to do this